Hello and welcome to another video in the series of coding. This time our problem is called the house robber problem. Let's get started. You are a professional robber planning to rob houses along a street. Each house has a certain number of money stashed. The only constraint that is stopping you from robbing each of them is that adjacent houses have a security system which is connected and it will automatically contact the police if two adjacent houses were broken into on the same night. Okay, given a list of non-negative integers representing the amount of money of each house, determine the maximum amount of money you can rob tonight without alerting the police. So they have given us an example where 1, 2, 3, and 1 are the elements of the array, and so we have different options of robbing houses. For example, we can rob the first and the third house. In that case, we'll get money 1 plus 3, which will be 4. We can also rob the second and the fourth house. In that case, we'll get 2 plus 1, which is 3. Or we can rob the first and fourth house, in which case we'll get 1 plus 1, which is 2. So the maximum among these is 1 plus 3, which is 4. So this should be the answer that we will have to return. Okay, let's move forward to the logic of the code and then we'll move to actually coding it. So let me write some random elements that will be part of array. So 3, 6, 9, 2, 7, 5, 8, 4. Okay, I've just written some random elements. Consider these are the money that we have got available in each of the houses. So let's get started. So let's break it into sub problems. Suppose we had only first element. Okay, that means only the first house was available. Then in that case, we have only one option. So we will have to rob the first house and we'll get maximum 3 amount of money. Okay, let's see if we have two houses available. Then we have two options. Okay, so the two options that we have was either we can rob the house 1 where we'll get 3, or we can rob the house 2 where we will get 6. Okay, so we have two options to choose from and 6 is larger than 3, so we will choose the option of robbing the second house and we will get 6. We cannot rob both houses together because in that case the houses are adjacent and the police will get alerted. Okay, let's move forward. Suppose we have three houses to rob. Okay, in that case what we can do is we have two options to choose from. Okay, the two options that we will have to choose from is we can choose to rob this house or we can choose to not rob this house. Okay, so let's consider both cases. Suppose we choose to rob this house, then we can get this money. Okay, and we'll get the money that we have got from robbing the house that is not adjacent to it. So we cannot rob the house which has money 6, but we can rob the first house. Okay, so in that case we'll get 3 plus 9, that will be 12. Okay, so this will be one of our options that we have. Or we could choose to rob only 6. In that case we'll not be able to rob 3 or 9. Okay, so we have to choose from 12 or 6, and since 6 is larger than sorry since 12 is larger than 6, so we'll choose to rob first house and the third house and we'll get 12 amount. Okay, so let me just erase all this. So we choose to rob this house and we will get amount 12. Okay, let's move forward. Suppose we have four houses. Then in this case, again we have two options. So we either choose to rob the fourth house or we choose not to rob the fourth house. So if we choose to rob the fourth house, then in that case we have options of getting the money that we had collected from house till house 2, right? So 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, 6 plus 2 will give 8, so we can either accept 6 plus 2 8, or what we can do is we can choose not to rob this house. If we choose not to rob this house, then we'll not be able to get the money that is there in this house, but we'll get the money that was adjacent to it, that is 12. So we'll have to choose between 12 or 6 plus 2 8. Okay, so this is the pattern that we are getting. So we will choose not to rob this house because in this case if we rob the house, maximum we can get is only 8. So we will choose not to rob this house, and till now the maximum amount of money that we have is 12 for this case. So I will write it down. Okay, so we have chosen not to rob this house. Now let's move forward. Suppose we have all the five houses. Then in that case, what will happen? So again, we have two options. Either we can rob this house or we can not rob this house. So if we choose to rob this house, the maximum amount of money that we can get is 12 plus 7. That is 19, right? So this is the money that we can get. Or we choose not to rob this house. In that case, maximum that we'll be able to get is 12 only. So we will choose to rob this house so that we can earn more money and we can be at 19. So I will write 19 as the maximum money that we have got till now. And we move forward to the next choice that we have. So now there are six houses. So again we have a choice to make. So we can rob this house or not rob this house. If we rob this house, then in that case we will get 5 by robbing this house, and we will be able to get maximum of 12 that we had got from before. So in this case we will be able to get maximum 17. If we choose not to rob this house, okay, in that case we will have to take 19, that is by maximum amount of money that we could have got by robbing the adjacent house. So between 17 and 19 we will have to choose 19, because 19 is bigger than 17. So we will not rob this house, and we will get 19. So let's move forward and accept the 19 that we are getting by not robbing this house. And let's move forward. Suppose we have seventh house also in the line. Then in that case, we again have two options. 19 plus 8 is 27. So we can either get 27 by robbing this house, or you can get 19 by not robbing this house. So we will choose to rob this house, and we will accept our money that we get is 27. And then we have the last choice that we have with us, 4. So 19 plus 4 will give us 23. So we have an option between 23 or 27. So we will accept 27. So we will choose not to rob this house, so that we just take the money that we had got till now, and we will be happy with 27, and we will return 27 as our answer. So this is a simple logic that we can see till now. So we just have two options for each house. So we can either choose to rob that or not rob that. So if we choose to rob that, we will have to accept the money that we are getting by robbing that, plus the money that we had got by robbing the house adjacent to adjacent of it, right, previous to the adjacent house of it. Or we can choose to rob the adjacent house of it, and we can accept the maximum money that we had got till now. So let's start coding it, then we'll understand it even better. So let me start by declaring um array to store the maximum amount of money that we get. So that I'll name it DP, short for dynamic programming, and I'll give it size to be same as the size of the array that we are receiving, and initialize all the elements to 0. Okay, before this I can also give if nums dot size is less than 1. In that case you can just return 0, right? There's no point of the question. And we can simply give if nums dot size is equal to 1. That means if we have only one element, then we can simply return nums of 0, that is the first element. Okay, and now we have also declared our DP array. Now let's start iterating. And before we do that, we can also declare DP of 0, right? DP of 0 will just be first element, because in case we have only one house, then there is no option of choosing. We just have to choose that house to rob. So DP of 0 will just be equal to nums of 0. Okay, and we can also give DP of 1. So DP of 1 will equal to max of nums of 0 or nums of 1. So either the first house or the second house, in case we have only two houses, right? So these are the two things that we know, and we can move forward. So for int I equal to 2, I less than nums dot size I plus plus. Okay, in this case we can declare DP of I is equal to max of. So we have two choices, either to rob the house or not to rob the house. So if we choose to rob this house, then we are going to have to accept whatever money we are getting by robbing the current house plus previous to the adjacent house. So nums of I plus DP of I minus 2. So either this, or we'll have to accept the money that we had got by robbing the adjacent house to it. Okay, so this will be it, and we can just return DP of nums dot size minus 1, and hopefully this should work. Let's check if it's working. So it's working. Let's check if all the solutions for it are working. Yes, it's working. Thank you.